Welcome to the Clayton County Board of Education Budget Public Hearing. Today is Monday, June 3rd. The time is 11 a.m. And I'm going to call this meeting to order. And I'm going to start by calling the roll. Please note, as you can see, there are just a few of us up here, but we do not need to have a quorum for this meeting. A quorum would be 5. So I'm going to call the roll just for the record. Jasmine Bowles, District 1. Mark Christmas, District 2. Jesse Goree, District 3, that's me. District 4, Victoria Williams. District 5, Dr. D. Haney. District 6, Ms. Mary Baker. Present. District 7, Ms. Sabrina Hill. District 8, Ms. Joy Tellis Cooper. District 9, Mr. Benjamin Straker. Superintendent, Dr. Anthony Smith.
Present.
Attorney Clem Doyle. Board Liaison, Ms. Kim Blackwood. Present. Executive Administrative Assistant to Dr. Smith and Board, Ms. Alicia Battle. Present. Executive Assistant to the Deputy Superintendent and Chief of Staff, Ms. Don Blau. All right. So at this time, we are going to have the Chief Financial Officer come forth, and she will give her presentation.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board Member. I didn't think so. It's on. Do I need to hold? Is that better? Oh, there you go. Good. Okay. So good morning, Madam Chair, Board members, and Superintendent Dr. Smith, colleagues, and community. This morning we're having the second of our 2 required public hearings on our FY2025 Superintendent's Proposed Budget. And real quick, I want to go through, hold on, this is not on. Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, wait. It was. The green should be showing, right? Oh, there we go. So this budget addresses the superintendent's priorities. He has 5: to cultivate a school safety culture and promote a positive working environment, to increase academic achievement. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Can you all hear in the back? No. So you got louder and
Okay,
slower.
That's too
they
loud.
can hear
What
you.
about this?
Okay.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this budget addresses the superintendent's 5 priorities shown here, which is to cultivate a school safety culture and promote a positive work environment, increase academic achievement, maintaining financial stability and sustainability, strengthening the organizational structure, and enhancing infrastructure and new facilities. The district operates through 4 funds, which is our general operating fund, the largest of the 4 funds, and it also finances the day-to-day operations of the district. We have special revenue funds. These are funds that used for federal grants, state grants, or other grants that we may receive, and they're designed for specific uses, restricted for those expenditures only. Capital projects funds we use to account for the capital projects, buildings, renovations and repairs. And then our enterprise funds. This is where we have our school nutrition and our athletic fund, as well as the print shop. So these are typically self-supporting by user charges. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going too fast. Okay, so general fund is spent on teachers' salaries, I'll just say salaries and benefits for teachers, counselors, media specialists, parapros, administrators, bus drivers, and any support staff. Our salaries and benefits make up about 88% of our total budget, and the remaining funds are used for operations such as supplies and materials, utilities, fuel, and any contracted services that we may have. So what we're going to present today, some budget highlights, some things that are included in this budget with some proposed changes from the superintendent. In the next few slides, what you see highlighted in yellow are some items that are new to what we originally proposed or have presented. So for the certified personnel, in addition to the $2,500 increase by the state, Dr. Smith has recommended an additional $500 to be added to that for a total increase of $3,000 plus a step increase that will be funded. It's not just for the experience, it will also come with money this time. Also, he's recommending a $1,500 loyalty incentive to be paid at the end of August. Something new is an attendance incentive. Employees will be eligible to earn up to $2,500 for the full year. And what you show here is the reward, attendance rewards per semester. So if you miss no days, an employee is eligible to receive a $1,250 reward for attendance. If they miss 1 day per semester, it'll be $1,000 for that semester. 2 days, you would earn $750. You would earn $500 if you miss 3 days. And if you miss 4 days, you can be eligible to receive $250. If you miss 5 or more days, there will be no reward or incentive for attendance at that level. This incentive, we're projecting to pay it at the end of each semester once we have all of that data on the attendance. Also, he's proposing a spring break appreciation incentive of $500,000 that would be paid, I'm sorry, $500. Did I say 500,000? That'd have been nice. $500 correction. And then also at mid-year, we are proposing to increase the certified salary scale by $1,000 in January of 2025. And for certified personnel, I just want to be clear or provide some clarity. These are all the employees that are paid on the teacher pay scale. The average salary increase, depending on where an employee falls on that salary scale, will be anywhere from 4% to 8% with all of the increases to the salary. When you add the incentives to it, it's anywhere from 10 to 14%, depending on where they fall on the salary schedule. Under classified personnel, we have some incentives for the bus drivers and school nutrition. They will be receiving a 4.1% increase to their salaries. They're also eligible for the loyalty incentive of $1,500 that will be paid at the end of August of this year, as well as the attendance incentives as we discussed. I'm not going to read them all again, but it's the same as the classified employees, as well as the spring break appreciation incentive of $500. For other personnel, classified personnel pay grades 29 and below, they will get a step increase, which is equivalent to 3%. They will also be eligible for the attendance incentive or reward based on the number of days missed. They will also, with all classified, will be eligible for the loyalty incentive of $1,500. And then those only on pay grades 29 and below will receive the spring break appreciation incentive of $500. In addition to that, the custodians will receive a $1,000 supplement to their salary for 1 year awarded by the state. So they will see that, but just for 1 year because the state said they're only funding it for 1 year, and the continuation of that would be based upon their funds available at the state. So this is just a supplement, not an increase to their total salary. Some of the other items included in this proposed budget is adding TRS for the maintenance personnel. TRS is increasing from 19.98% to 20.78%. Certified health increasing this year, again, from $18,960 to $21,290. However, that would be state funded for those certified personnel. Classified health insurance increases will be district funded, and this going from $12,840 to $18,150. So that's an additional benefit that the district is paying on behalf of the employees who take out health insurance. We've also included some of the ESSER-funded positions, student engagement specialists, funding for 1 year only. There's some funding in here for DES, for 3 ESOL instructional specialists, a data clerk, a social worker, and an MTSS lead, as well as 2 student behavioral health specialists and a homeless ed specialist. TLSI, or Teaching and Learning, has some new positions as well included in this budget. That's for academic coaches for 11, 5 early literacy intervention positions to ensure that we're in compliance with the new state dyslexia bill that recently passed and was signed by the governor. And also a supplement for high-need special ed parapros of $3,000 a year. That's for those parapros that are in the class with those students that have high needs in the homeless position. So on the tentative proposed budget, on the tax digest, I just want to go back over it again. We did add an estimate for the motor vehicles, which was not included before. So that is about $981,000 additional, but when we do it at a collection rate, we only probably realize about $800,000 of that. So we're proposing a 99.5% collection rate of our total $248 million in revenue that we'll collect, of about $246,118,885, which is included as our property tax revenue in our budget. One of the things that I wanted to show is how we compare with our property values compared to our surrounding school districts. So as you can see, and this is 2023 data, because we don't have 2024 for all districts. I do have ours at the bottom, but I wanted to compare apples to apples. So as you can see for Clayton County, our millage rate is 19.6. Our tax digest value was $11.3 billion. 1 mil generates $11.3 million for the county, for the district. If you look at Atlanta, theirs is at $48 billion. Their 1 mil generates $48 million. So for 1 mil, we only get $11.3 million compared to $48 million in Atlanta. And it's because of the property values. So they do have quite a bit more money than we do to spend. Cobb County's 1 mil is valued at $40 million. DeKalb is at $39 million. Fayette is lower than ours at $6.6 million. Fulton is at $46 million. Gwinnett is $54 million. And Henry's is a little higher than ours at $12.5 million. And even looking at the property values for this year, even though they did increase, you see it went from 11.3 to 12.6 billion, we still only generate $12.6 million for 1 mil. That's still well below the other districts, except for the 2, Henry and Fayette. And Henry's may be more than ours. Again, I don't have the digest data, but everybody's digest went up. So those numbers are gonna go up, and we're still gonna be in the bottom 3 of what 1 mil generates. Okay, why is it not going? Okay. So the revised proposed general fund budget with the changes that we're recommending. So the additional proposed enhancements, a summary of those, is an additional $500 added to the certified teacher salary schedule. Attendance incentives up to, or rewards up to $2,500. That'll cost us $8.4 million. The $500 spring break appreciation incentive will cost us about $3 million. So our total immediate cost increasing would be $13,799,476. We're also proposing again at mid-year in January the $1,000 increase to the certified staff teaching salary scale. The full year cost of that is $4.6 million. However, it would only cost us a half year when we're implementing in January of $2.3 million. So this slide shows the difference between what was the tentative proposed and the revised recommendation. The projected beginning fund balance remains the same. We're projecting $180 million. Projected revenues increased by $2,345,803. Our projected expenditures increased by $13,799,476. That leaves us with expenditures exceeding our revenues of, I said it right, it increases by that amount. So that leaves us with using an $11.4 million increase of our fund balance. So that would bring our projected ending fund balance to $147.7 million. This shows our general fund revenue by source. So you can see 2024 to 2025, we're projecting $246 million. Other local revenue, $24.7 million. State funding, $403.6, and federal funding at $690,000. And then the other general fund grants, those are the state grants that we received. So the total general fund, $682.2 million, which is about a $40.5 million increase in revenue over last year. So this shows where the money is spent. The largest slice of this pie chart is actually state funds, with the darker blue is our property taxes. So those are the two largest sources of our revenue. This shows our proposed budget expenditures with the enhancements by function. As you can see, our largest expenses is in our instructional area, and that's where we also saw the largest increase from last year to this year. So our total expenditures are increasing by 72.7 or $72.8 million. And again, this is the pie chart. The blue is instruction, so that shows them where the largest area of our funds are going. This one shows the expenditures by object, such as salaries and benefits, contracted services, supplies, and those areas. And as you can see, the majority, again, of our funds is going to salaries and benefits. So our total, again, is $714 million. This shows the large blue area is the, dark blue area is the salaries, and the gray shaded area are benefits. So again, that's the largest of our expenditures by object. This shows the tentative proposed budget with all funds. So we've already talked about the general fund, but special revenue funds, we have total revenue available of $136,851,000. We have $395 million in capital projects and $92 million in enterprise funds. So our total revenues available is $1.5 billion for all funds. And this shows by function for all funds, special revenue funds, capital projects, and enterprise. $136 million for special revenue, $395 for capital projects, and $67 million for enterprise is the total. And we'll show the projected ending fund balance, or projected beginning fund balance of $1,258,619,556. And then the projected ending fund balance is $149 million. We've had the remaining dates of, we have already had our first public hearing last Tuesday. This is the second required hearing. The final adoption in adopting our tentative millage rate of 19.6 mills, we have to do that no later than June 30th. And I think our next meeting after tonight would be our June 24th work session. We could do it then, or if the board wants to have a call meeting between now and then, we could do that. We will have our millage rate public hearings if required sometime in July after we get the lockdown digest from the tax assessor. And then our final millage rate adoption will be either late July or early August. And that's all I have. So Madam Chair, I turn the floor back over to you for public comments.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I need, one question I need to ask is whether or not, when will all this information be put on our website? After this meeting, or will it be placed on the website?
We can place this presentation on the website after this meeting. Yes, ma'am. I'll work
All
with
right. Thank
whomever
you.
to do it. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Okay, at this time, I'm going to read the rules for the public comment. we're following the public participation rules. The Clayton County Board of Education welcomes public participation and will hear any interested individual pursuant to the guidelines outlined policy BCBI. Members of the public will not be allowed to discuss individual personnel issues or confidential student matters. Students must identify themselves and topics before speaking. Speakers will be given 3 minutes to speak, and time may not be yielded from one speaker to another. Board members will not respond to comments from speakers. The chair may respond as appropriate. Issues requiring possible action by the board may be added to future agendas. Issues that may need to be addressed by the administration will be duly noted. Abusive language and or personal attacks will not be permitted. Individuals addressing the board must at all times adhere to the civility policy. Now, I'm going to make a comment to you all. I have a sign-up sheet. I have 8 people's names on here. And I'm a little disappointed because I saw your all call that you put on Clayton County's moms and dads. I saw somebody talking about me on Clayton County moms and dad. I had to correct him about the correct spelling of my name. I'm a little bit like Birdman. Put some respect on my name when you talk about me. So I have 8 names, and I'm actually been looking at a few people in the audience making a little comments and shaking their heads, so I'm gonna call on some of them since I at least expected 10 people. Actually, I expected more. I was willing to sit here as long as possible to hear what you all have to say, because I know that everybody's interested in increasing their pay. I'm interested in supporting you in increasing your pay as well. And we're gonna do the best we can with the money that we have, because we do not have an unlimited amount of money out of an ATM that we can give to everyone in this room. And I hope that when you all go back, you'll look at the information that's been posted as far as millage rates and how we do fund our schools and employees. And I'm gonna ask for your forgiveness from the beginning. If I mess your name up, just come up to the microphone and please correct me. All right. The first name I have on the list is Pamela Tate. Is Pamela Tate present? Hey, Miss Tate, come on up. I'm gonna try to take some notes too while you talk, so. All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pamela Tate, and I work at the central office location. I service Huey, Jackson, Kilpatrick, King, Smith, and West Clayton elementary schools. I'm currently a grade 17, step 5. My concern today is that this position has not yet been compensated as a district register. When I started here in 2016 and accepted this position, it was not based on experience. Today, a new hire will come in on the same grade and step as I. The only thing that separates the pay of myself and the regular school registers who only have one school to enroll are the number of days that they are 195 and I am 225. For the last 4 years, past and current leadership have asked me to wait and trust the process. I have done all that has been asked of me, but I have a family that needs shelter, food, and clothing. The wait has become unbearable, and I am asking and hoping that you will consider including the elementary district registers in the upcoming budget and changing our grade that is comparable to our current job description and include back pay. Thank you.
So, Ms. Tate, just to get clarity, excuse me, you're a registrar, right? Is that what you said? You're a registrar?
Well, sometimes I'm a registrar and sometimes I'm a district register. So coming out of the school, I was a register, so I'm still on that pay. But then, like, when it comes to our bonuses,
Right.
I'm a district register and therefore don't qualify for
Right.
that. So,
Gotcha.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Miss Mayika Smoot. Now, Miss Smoot, remember, it's a hearing, so
I know.
you can't ask questions. You gotta,
I got you.
okay.
I'd like to thank you all. I'm Maika Smoot. I'm president of the Clayton County Education Association, and I have some remarks prepared that after I saw this new proposed changes to the budget, I can't even go with my prepared remarks. I would like to say thanks for the effort. However, I think that there is more work that needs to be done. When we think about our ESSER funds and how those funds are being spent, when last looked at the dashboard, we have $44.7 million in unused funds. And that presentation that we just showed didn't show me $44.7 million. So how is the rest of those funds being spent? Just a thought. And when we think about compensation and we think about comparing us to other districts, compare us to comparable districts. And I saw the millage rate and I understand that. And so I think that a lot of people will gain more information as that is concerned. So we thank you for that. But when I think about the positions and things that as a district we are willing to cut, it is always at the school level. We have become so top-heavy in Clayton County that it feels like we have job on top of job on top of job who is basically doing the same job. And when we think about what we need to do in this district, maybe we need to start condensing some of those positions. And if some of those positions were created with funds from the American Rescue Act, and those funds are no longer available and now they are being absorbed through general funds, maybe that is something that we need to look at. The same way that when we look at positions that are grant funded and then there is no longer the grant to fund those positions, we either end those positions or we fund them in other ways. And if we are willing to fund district level positions, if they were created and the funds were used through American Rescue Act, then why not other positions? But when we're looking at finding money, look back at the budget, because you have several cost centers that have grown exponentially. The graduation coach went from 321 plus thousand to 5.8 million. Tell me why. We need an understanding. It's not so much that we want to come and we want to question, but as the public, as your employee, as your community, we are owed an explanation in the why. I would like to know why the graduation coach position went up $5 million. I would like to know why the social worker position doubled. I would like to know who are the others when it says other administrative staff, other compensation. That whole cost
Time
center.
is up, Ms. Smoot. Time is up. Before you step away, before you step away, when you're looking at funds, and correct me if because I'm just gonna address a few things. Ms. Bivens, she mentioned the, let me see. I'm trying, unused funds, ESSER. More than likely, are they encumbered funds? Yes, ma'am. Yes, encumbered means that it's on paper, but they are actually going to be paid for somebody. So everything that you look on the paper doesn't mean that it's available.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
don't we have until September 30th to actually spend those?
right. So it's not there to give, so yes. And basically, so The others, we just gonna have to talk about on the telephone.
I got you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. We'll talk about it on the phone, because I know you asking about graduation coaches, and you know we do want people to graduate,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. we want them to
Okay,
graduate.
all right. Okay, so we want people to graduate, and we want a lot of scholarship money, so I think that might be self-explanatory. All right, come on up, Mr. Tony McCreer, come on up.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
My name is Tony McCreer. Currently, I'm serving as a student engagement specialist at the illustrious Michelle Obama STEM Elementary Academy, where also your district principal of the year is our principal, Ms. Payton. When I was given this, offered this position, I really had no idea what to expect. I knew that there was a lot of concerns with behavioral issues going on in Clayton, but I was willing to step in and do whatever I could. During the time that I've worked in this position, I have used my phone to keep data because it's the quickest way instead of trying to run back to a laptop. In this phone, I have 180 accounts that I've had to interact with students. Of those 180, only 30 of them did administration have to be involved. So that was 150 of incidents with students misbehaving or misunderstood in class that was disrupting the learning. And we all know learning is a very big part of what we do. So I'm here to say, when you're thinking about what do an SES do, what do the student engagement specialists do, we allow the teachers to keep teaching because we're removing students, for some reason, just having a rough day. Sometimes they just need to walk around or get away from the class for a moment to calm down. As those who work in education know, every kid in the district wants to voice their opinion, and they want somebody to hear their opinion. Well, when the teacher is teaching, they don't have time to really stop and listen to that one and ignore the other 30 in their class. So that's where our position comes in, to help out. Keeping kids safe. Dr. Smith, you've mentioned on many occasions, safety is your #1 priority. Well, when a person like me, and when a person like who is in my position, when we're gone, who's gonna handle those other 150 cases that come out? How many of those teachers are gonna have to stop teaching those other 30 kids to go out and deal with little Johnny, because little Johnny having a rough time? Now, I know this position was brought in after COVID, and believe me, COVID is still with us and doing a lot of things to our babies. Rethink what we do and how we are adding to Clayton. And for those who don't know what we do, come to the school. Sit and talk with us. Come to a lunch. Sit and watch what these kids do, and you will understand the purpose and the need for a person like myself and others to keep safety the #1 priority in Clayton County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCreary. I'm sure you saw in the presentation that they're included. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you all are still in the budget.
All of
right.
us
Yes, sir.
for 1 year. I'll take it.
Thank you. I've been there myself. All right, next person is Roger Hobbs.
Mr. McCreary, would you stick around for a couple of minutes if you got the time?
Hey, Mr.
Okay,
Hobbs.
ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
I'm pretty much going to be talking about the budget regarding teacher pay, like most people are worried about. A lot of people don't realize it, but in Cobb and Atlanta, a first-year teacher there is making the equivalent of a 10th-year teacher in Clayton County. That shouldn't be happening. And if you have a teacher with a doctorate, a 10th-year doctorate, they're making the equivalent of a 35-year teacher in Clayton County. It's outrageous. Right now, I'm taking a promotion at North Clayton as lead counselor. If I drive 2 minutes into Atlanta, I'll work 20 less days and I'll make $15,000 more. Right. And that shouldn't be happening. And then teachers, right? They have two problems. In Cobb and Atlanta, every degree you go up in Cobb and Atlanta is about 10,000 more, each one. Down here is 5,000, so you're losing your higher educated teachers to Cobb and Atlanta. When I looked at the new proposed budget, we're offering all these new incentives to the teachers, and I'm looking at the attendance one. To me, that looks more like a punishment, because like, I don't have children, but who's to say your kid gets sick and you don't have nobody to watch your kid, right? There you go, $250 down the drain. What I would recommend, completely remove that incentive. The spring break one, the 500, completely remove it. We can somehow we managed to free up about 14 million in the past week. Why can't that go towards the teacher's salary permanently, right? The mid-year that you have coming in January, the 1,000, why can't we just move that forward? That'll be an extra, what, 2.2 million right there. Overall, if we want to remain competitive with Atlanta and Cobb, I don't want to tell you that they're poaching our teachers, but in a way they are. But we need to at least be the backup plan to Cobb and Atlanta for Henry County and Fayette. So maybe increase the pay more than $3,000 per year. Truthfully, a loyalty incentive, $1,500, that's not going to help too much. Why not maybe add $500, $1,000 to the salary? Because you're trying to attract new teachers. A new teacher isn't going to pick Clayton County. A new teacher is going to go to Cobb, Atlanta, and then if they don't get in there, then they're going to come here. Because when I look online at TED K-12 for the teacher applications, we have, I think it was 15 pages with 50, I don't even know, it was over 400 on there. And page 29 of the budget, substitutes going from 1 million to 2.3 million in the budget. I would be terrified if I was a parent, because not only are my kids not going to be taught by teachers, they're going to be taught by subs, and half the time.
Mr. Hobbs. I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm going to let you finish that point.
And I haven't been a teacher for a while, but I know subs call out, and when they call out, those students are going to get separated, and classrooms are already huge. We have some rooms with 43 people in them, right? And it's just the morale's going down. And I feel like halfway through the year, if they get offered a job in Atlanta and Cobb, they're going to take it. They're going to break the contract. They're going to pay the $2,000.
Okay.
You know, if they're going to get paid $25,000 more in Atlanta, because an equal pay doctorate in Atlanta to Clayton is about $25,000 more.
All right, I'm going to have to stop you right there.
All right.
Okay, but I'm going to make a comment about that attendance while you all are clapping. Now, I kind of understand the rationale for the attendance incentive, although I kind of agree with what you're saying as well. But I do look at Facebook. And the reason that the substitute rate is going up so high is because the teachers don't come to work. And if we put some data up there on this board, we would see that the teacher attendance is worse than the student attendance.
But I feel
So,
like
but no, it may not be for you, this doesn't apply to everybody, but I could put some data up there on the teachers. I see your toenails, you know, and your drinks you got when you're on the beach. So we see all of that. As a matter of fact, I had a call from somebody last night where they started docking some checks. So we also, I can agree with partially what you're saying. But anyway, we're going to take your concerns.
I feel like it's more of a mental health thing where they take
You're going to have to send me an email for the rest of it. Let me move down, and I'll sit here a little bit longer for you. We really do need to improve our attendance. We really do. The next name that I see is, and I know I'm going to mess this up, I think it's Joy Shylin Gay. Last name, first name JoyshIlen, last name Gay. Okay. What about Ari Zorns? I don't think I got that right, so pronounce it for me.
No, you said it right.
Oh,
Ari
did I?
Zorns.
Okay, I got it. Okay, let's go.
My name is Ari Zorns. I work at Eddie White Academy as a student engagement specialist. So I know y'all gonna keep the position for another year. I'm like super appreciative of that. But I just, want to go in depth as my further student engagement specialist did. Like what we do overall, like I think like you have to really be there to understand the work that we do behind the scenes. Administration is more able to do observations in classrooms because we're there and we're lowering the decrease in disciplines and referrals, which is big time. Also, in my school, it is the biggest school in Clayton County, so we got 1,300 students. Yeah, I say safety is the number one important thing. Like we're there, like my people in my position, we're more willing to do letting these kids in the school, checking bags, bus lane, like that's super important, checking every single bag. And when they see teachers or other people see us, we're willing to do that in the morning, getting there on time, because I'm not able to get there late, because we got to get these kids in school. Seeing us motivate other people that want to do it, because we don't get paid to do security. That's just volunteer work. So I think giving us another year would be, I appreciate it, because I think as the schools and us, we need another year to figure it out, because I think without us being in the school system, that's going to be a huge adjustment that they're going to have to figure out, because it's just certain things like the kids are sometimes more willing to talk to me more than their counselors. Just easier to talk to, it just depends. And also, like, I know how important teachers are, and y'all would prefer us to be in the classrooms as teachers. But also what we do for teachers and the students, we bring like a peace and an energy that kind of makes them want to come to work. Like when a teacher is hectic and it's a lot going on, I don't mind going to her classroom real quick and letting her get a breather. I feel like that's like an important thing to have and to be able to lean on, because without those type of people in the classroom, like in the building, it just can be a lot as a teacher, especially a first-year teacher. Your first year, you're dealing with some middle schoolers. In sixth grade, it's a lot. But overall, like, just outside of student engagement specialists, it's a few things. Like, our ISS teacher left the last month or two in the school year because he thought his position was going to be removed. So it's, in my opinion, positions like student engagement specialists, ISS, like, without them, I don't see how the school could operate, because the last month of school, that's when kids behave the best. We didn't have ISS. Kids behaved the worst. We didn't have ISS, nowhere to put kids. He left thinking his position was going to be gone. It was just real hectic. But I do appreciate everything y'all do. But I just believe, we are the heart of the school system. Outside of teachers, you may not know, but yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
young man.
appreciate you. I am a retiree, middle school, taught 6th grade. I know how it is when they come in the building. Taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I know all about it. Everything you said was true. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. All right. Do we have Miss Antoinette Scandrett?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Antoinette Scandrett. I'm one of the 6 district registrars registering students for our 38 elementary schools in Clayton County. The 7 schools that I currently service are Arnold, Marshall, Magara, Michelle Obama, K. Pace, Unidos, and Terra Elementary School. Enrollment for elementary consists of pre-K through 5th, which we all are aware that there are thousands of students enrolled every year. In addition to the elementary schools, during the summer, we assist with enrollment for the 15 middle schools and 12 high schools as well. Though registrars on both school level and district level are rarely recognized, I do believe that we are the starting point for our CCPS families. When this position was created, it was not in the compensation study first. We have been told from leadership that it would be, and at that point, our pay would reflect the position. This never took place. I'm currently grade 17, step 4, which is the same step and grade that a new school level registrar with one school will receive coming into Clayton County today. Our position consists of not just enrollment, it consists of assisting families, fellow school level registrars, helping the counselors, principals, and a host of other things daily. The only difference in a school level registrar is that we work 30 days additional to the days that we would work if we were in the school. I simply want to ask that district registrar position be considered in the 24-25 budget. That's it.
Thank you. So your total work, how many days?
So we are now 225, we were 195 when we were in the school
25.
building. And there's 6 of us, and there's 38 elementary schools.
Right.
But during the summer, we are responsible, 6 of us are responsible for every school in Clayton County. Without us, there won't be any students in school.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The last name I have is Chandra Jones.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings to the board members, superintendents, stakeholders, and my hard-working colleagues. First, I want to thank you all for giving us this opportunity to voice our concerns and, give some feedback of what we see is going on. Many teachers have to take second jobs, and that should not be the case anywhere. I do realize that we are not making the same income or the same, we're not in the same tax bracket as some of our other districts. However, with us being the 6th largest district in the state of Georgia, I do feel like we can dig a little bit more. The board member, Mr. Christmas, I really appreciate his comment last week where he said, were the raises going to affect APs and up? And I knew exactly what he meant when he said that. Now, this is coming from strictly a professional level, not to be personal or to, make anyone offended, but the teachers, the people who are in the school, on the ground, doing the footwork, we're the ones that need the raises. And so I would just implore for us to kind of go back into the budget, kind of see with the positions that were created above principals and, with the deputy superintendents, the attendants, all of the positions that get paid a little bit more, maybe we can kind of look at those incomes, and maybe this may not be the opportunity or the year for those incomes to rise, but actually the people who are in the building working with the children, who are pretty much preparing the citizens that will take care of all of us. That's where the important work takes place. I also want to mention something about the virtual learning program. I have noticed that it is a different entity. However, we are still given the responsibility to produce citizens that are able to compete with everyone else. We teach scholars just like the other teachers teach scholars. So there was a comment that was made in one of the, meetings with the superintendent, and some of the children kind of felt like they didn't think the virtual learning program was being treated as important as other districts, or other schools rather. So I would just say, if we're gonna have this program, we have to invest in this program and be serious about the program, because those teachers, those scholars, they're working just as hard to be productive citizens as well. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good point. All right, now, I at least expected 10 people, so I'm gonna be the teacher right now, and I see the lady right back there. I know she knows I'm looking at her. She's nodding her head. Come on, you've been nodding your head. Come on up here. No, not you. Not you yet. I'm gonna get you, cause
I got it.
well, that's all right. No, you can. I'm doing my listening, so all the staff, if you all want to leave, you can go.
And I'd like to say, Ms. Gorey, thanks for the people that are coming out, and we hear you loud and clear. And I know this is a hearing, but I want the individuals and the staff members to know that we're working our gut level best to make certain that we're the district of choice, by making certain that we're compensating you appropriately, and we're making inroads toward that. Now, we heard you, we evaluated our status in terms of where we are in the metro Atlanta area, and we reevaluated. So for us to take what the governor's giving, which is $2,500, and then add another $500, which will bring that up to $3,000, which I'm aware of 2 other districts that are doing that, and give a step increase, which generally would be about another $1,000 or so, which now puts you at $4,000, and to increase it, albeit January versus the beginning, another $1,000, which will give us a $5,000 on average raise, which is a great percentage, and it's a good start. And we'd like to continue to chip away at this year after year after year. In addition to making certain that we give appreciation awards throughout the year, the $1,500 to start your year out. It's nothing to sneeze at. The potential to earn $1,250 if you come to work and honor your commitment fully. And then on top of that, just to show you how much we appreciate you, we know how hard people are working, going on spring break with something from the district that shows we appreciate you, and then having the opportunity to earn another $1,250 at the end of that semester. So there's checkpoints throughout the year that we're trying to give in terms of incentives, along with a big chunk of raise. And we keep chipping away year after year. In a few years, we'll be where we need to be. So we're really trying, but we do have limitations. And as you can see, 1 meal earns us $11 million. 1 meal earns Atlanta 40 or 50 million. So, but that doesn't mean we can't continue to try to find ways to compete. And we think that we've come up with a budget that we presented to the board that shows that we appreciate you, and we're giving you a raise that will reoccur year after year after year and build on. Thank you, Madam Chair.